So today we'll be looking at how to do all forms of mental math fast. I did make a video about this a while back about multiplication, but this time we'll be going through addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's start with addition. I'm gonna start with some easy ones. So 2 digits, 4 rows, and subtraction as well. We'll do 15 questions. One, yeah, we'll do 15 questions. And yeah, I'll be going through some tips and tricks on how to do this stuff fast. So for this, for example, so you start with 98 minus 84, so that's 14. Now 14 plus 86 is 100, and that plus 98 is very easy, obviously 198. For this, there are a few ways to do it. So you can start with 98 minus 67, which will be 31, and then you can do 33 plus 83, 116, and then add 116 and 31 for 147. Otherwise, you could also do 83 minus 67, which is 16, and then 16 plus 33 plus 98. It still comes out as 147. And then for this, pretty easy. Let's do 31 minus 26. It comes out as 5, and you add it to the 92 and 57. So 92 plus 5, 97. That plus 57 is 154. Now for this, this is just plain addition. 33 plus 30 is 63. That plus 50 is 113. That plus 69 is 182. You can mix up the order of additions as you want. Like some people might find it hard to add with 9. So you could do 69 plus 33, which would be 102, and then add the 30 and the 50 for 182. Then this 29 plus 29 is 29 times 2, 58. 58 plus 54 is 112. That plus 68 is 180. Additionally, you could also do 68 plus 29 and 54 plus 29 and add 97 and 83 for 180. For this, it's again just addition. 48 plus 50, 98. 45 plus 64 is 100 and 207. And what I find is, if it's only additions, then do the addition simultaneously. Like for example, I'll give that example later. For this, 95 minus 76 and 87 minus 89, do them simultaneously. 95 minus 76 is 19, 87 minus 89 is 2 minus 2. So 19 minus 2, that will be 17. For this, you could just do 53 minus 67, which will be negative 14. 38 minus 14 is 24. That plus 42 is 66. Now, as I was saying over here, you can do simultaneous addition. So 54 plus 49, and at the same time also do 34 plus 51. So you get 103 and 85, and then add them both. And I find that's the fastest way to do any form of addition. Next, this 49. I think for this it would be best to do 49 plus 61, because you get a 0 at the end with 110, and then 110 plus 90 is 200, and then you can very easily add 52 to that for 252. For this, I think it would be best to do 69 minus 58, 11. That plus 90, 101, and then add another 87. That would be 188. 61 plus 95 plus 20 plus 28. You add everything. You can do simultaneous or by itself one by one. It will come out as 204. Now for this, there is a particular trick that I like to use. So you add 36 and 41 or I guess subtract them. Minus 36 minus 41 for minus 77, and then you do 83 minus 7, which is 6. That plus 89 is 95. For this, you can cancel out the 26's, and it's 63 plus 79, 142. And 58 minus 58, again you can cancel it out, and just 94 minus 82, which is 12. And I explained it right now. I'm just gonna give a small demonstration now of how fast you can go with these methods. So we'll start with this. So as you can see, about 2 and a bit seconds per question. Obviously it will be hard for many people to go that fast, but as long as you can do it in under 3 to 3.5 seconds, that's you can very easily reach a rating of around 2000 with that. But obviously for that you also need multiplication. So I did 2 digit times 2 digit last time. I think we'll do a easier one this time, something that comes at around the 1500, 1400, 1600, that around that level. So we'll do 2 digit times 1 digit. Now these are very easy most of the time. So this you can just do 93 times 10, divide that by 2. If you find that hard, then you can do 5 times 90, 5 times 3, add them both, it's 450 plus 15, 465. For this, yeah, you can do there are a few ways actually to do this. So you can tech now I don't really use this technique, but if you find it easier, you can split up the 72 into a 9 and an 8, and then you can do 8 times 8, which is 64, and then do 64 times 10 minus 64, which would be 64 times 9, so 576. Otherwise you could also split the 72 into 36 times 2. So if you can do 8 times 36 fast, then that would be 288, and then you just double it for 576. For this again you just half 81 times 10, or you can do 5 times 80 plus 5 times 1, 405. For this it's again pretty simple, 7 times 30 plus 7 times 4, or 7 times 17 plus 7 times 2, or 7 times 17 times 2, sorry, and you get an answer of 238. For this it's pretty easy, you'll just do 4 times 2, 8, and then subtract that 8 from 4 times 100, 400, to get 392. You can do a similar thing for this, except it's 4 times 4 for 16, and then 400 minus 16 for 384. And again you can do the same thing for this, or you could do 300 minus 3 times 10, which is 30, for 270, and then that plus 3 times 2, 276. This is pretty easy, 6 times 20 plus 6 times 4, 144. And again similar thing for this. Another thing that I found out you can very recently that you can do is you can do 8 times 100, 8 times 100, which is 800, and then you can divide that by a 4, which would give you 200, and then subtract 8 from that. Or you can also just do the 8 times 20 plus 8 times 4, or 8 times 12 times 2, whatever works best. Again, I think we got this question earlier, I'll just skip over it. For this is one of the easiest types of questions you can find. You just have to do 7 times 6, 420, 420 plus 42, 462. And again the same methods that I said for the 96 times 4 and 92 times 3, that can be applied for this 94 times 6. So you can do 600 minus 6 times 6, which is 564, or you can do 600 minus 60 plus 6 times 4, 24, again 564. Now this, for small numbers like 3, another thing I found is you can just add 64 quickly 3 times. So 64, 128, 192. Or obviously you can do the 3 times 60 times 4, or any other thing like 3 times 8, or anything like that. This is obviously very easy. Let's do 4 times 8 and then add a 0 at the end, 320. And again you got this question I think a while back, so yeah, 405, the same methods. And again I'll be showing how fast you can go with these types of methods. And yeah, I think as you saw at the end, it's obviously very easy to mess up in these sorts of questions. And I mean, it's fine if you mess up as long as you can very quickly figure out what the actual answer is. But then again, that can be hard to do when you find these types of questions hard. As you can see, the average time was about 1.3 seconds. Honestly, you can, as long as it's around 2.5 3 seconds, you can easily maintain a 1500 1600 rating. You even need to use 2 digit times 1 digit at really high levels, like even at 2500. When you get the 3 digit times 2 digits, that even over there, 2 digit times 1 digit can be very useful to do fast. And doing it in 1.5 seconds or less at that level is would help a lot. Now we'll go on to division, and I think now Matix did recently add, I think it was a 5 digit by 2 digit, or was it 5 digit by 3 digit, I think, in duels. But I think we'll just go with a simple, or not simple I guess, but 4 digit times 2 digit. Again, we'll do 15 questions. And for division, there aren't really too many tricks. What I like to use is estimation. Like, for example, like you can see here, if a number ends with 5, obviously the last digit of the answer will be a 5. So you just need to find the fourth digit, which you can do by estimating it. So you could get it's either 55 or 65. For this, if the first digit is 3 and the first digit of the denominator is also 3, it'll obviously be a 1 as the last digit of the answer. And then again, you just have to estimate the first digit, which you'd get 61. For this, you can just do, since the 0 is kind of useless, you can just do 188 by 47 for 4, and then add a 0 at the end of that, which is 40. For this, if you get something ending with 1 divided by something ending with 7, you just remember what's 21 by 7, it's 3. So the last digit will be 3, and now you just need to find the first digit, which would be 73. Additionally, you could also do, or no, that method is a bit complicated, but you can see if it's 97, then obviously it will be something with 7. I mean, if 7081 by 90 or by 90 anything, then obviously the first digit of the numerator will be the first digit of the answer in most cases. Over here you can see the first digit of the numerator is the same as the first digit of the denominator. So we know it has to start with 9. In most cases it does start with 9, especially for higher numbers. And as for the last digit, you can see that it's ending with 2 divided by ending with 8. And now its division is a lot about memorization. So you need to kind of memorize that if it's something ending with 2 divided by something ending with 8, it's either something ending with 4 or something ending with 9. So in this case, it's either 94 or 99, and we'll go with 94. And again, it's the same thing with this. So something ending with 4 divided by something ending with 8 is either something ending with 3 or something ending with 8, and the first digit of the numerator and denominator are the same, so we can assume it's 93 or 98, in this case 93. For this, again, it's just estimation. 2 by 8 will be either 4 or 9, so it's something like 34 or 39 or 44, in this case 39. For this, 497 by 71 is a 7, and then you add a 0 at the end of that, 70. And again, same thing for this, 504 by 63 is 8, add a 0 and it's 80. Now when you divide by 5, those are really the hardest ones. What I usually do is I multiply the 95 with a 10, 950, and I keep on doubling it until I get to the answer. So 950 times 2 is 1900, so that's 20. Then times 2 again for 95 times 40 is 3800. 95 times 80 will be 7600, and now as we're close to the answer, you just keep on adding 95 to that, so 76 95, 77 90, and you get 82. Now these are very complicated usually, and solving them, these are usually the divisions that take the longest time. So these, in my opinion at least, require the most practice. This again, you can use the technique something ending with 9 divided by something ending with 3. It has to end with 3, so it's 73 or 83. For this again, 2 something ending with 2 divided by something ending with 3, so that would be a 4 all of the time. So it's either 64 or 54 or something like that. Again, we have and the denominator ending with 5, so it's 350, then 700, then 1400, then 2800 is 35 times 80. Now we're close, so 2835, 2870, 2905, 2940. You can speed it up a bit as well by adding 35 times 5 immediately, which would be 2975, and then 3010, so you get 86. At least I haven't found any other methods. Tell me down in the comments if you found any methods for dividing things ending with 5, with a denominator ending with 5. This, I mean, it's 1 and it's another 1, so it ends with a 1, and it's 61. You can estimate the 49 and 8, approximately it'll come out as 6, and you get 61. For this, you just do 550, then 1100, then 2200. You're close to the answer, 2255, or you can just add 550 times 5, 2475. So your answer is 45. And again, I will be showing how fast you can go with these methods. And again, it's very easy to mess up in this. For me, it took an average time of about a little under 2 seconds. Again, at around maybe the 2000 level, which I think is where you start getting these types of questions. Again, 3 to 4 seconds is usually the golden number for how fast you should be doing any given question at any rating. And then with that, you can move on to the next 100 rating barrier, I guess. Anyways, that's it for today, and thanks for watching if you got this far in the video.